friends, welcome to the Cat Scrappiness YouTube channel. I'm Kim Skinner and I'm going to share a couple of masculine cards today. And we would love it if you aren't subscribed to the channel, if you subscribe and click that bell to get notifications every time one of us uploads a video. And please give this video a thumbs up. So I'm definitely going to be playing with some enamel dots today. Cat Scrappiness has a really nice selection of enamel dots, and you can see when you get a package, they come in a variety of sizes, and there are lots of different colors. I pulled out 3 sets I thought worked really well with these papers. I also have the Happy Day sentiment set. This sentiment set works for building a sentiment. It's really a nice sentiment builder set. For almost any occasion throughout the year. You can see there are lots of little filler stamps there, and the stamps have fonts in a couple different sizes, so it's pretty fun. I pulled out my A2 size rectangle dies, and I also have some patterns in the Spring Fling paper pad that I thought would work really well for masculine cards. And these particular papers, I love the geometric patterns. Anytime I get a geometric pattern, I feel like that paper works for anybody. Here's a card I made with this zigzag paper. I built a shaker card using the Happy Birthday word die and the Birthdays Essential die set. You can see I created a frame. I also did some foiling with the Gina K foils. They worked really well. On the back of that zigzag paper, it's black and it's foilable. So I die cut the shadow of the word die out of that paper and foiled it. I die cut my frame out of that paper and foiled it. And you can see I used some of those enamel dots on the hat. I also used some beer mug shaker elements as well. So there are lots of floral papers in this paper pad, and I wouldn't hesitate to use them on a card I considered masculine, All My Uncle's Garden. However, the geometrics are perfect. Polka dots and stripes work for everybody. Stars and circles work for everybody, and these arrows are fantastic because they also work for everybody. Even though you might feel like they have some feminine colors, the addition of that bold yellow and that black, I think, makes this work for anyone. It's got a really pretty backside too, I think. So I'm going to use this paper today on the card that I'm creating to share with you today. I'm going to start by making my frame. I pulled out a piece of scrap black cardstock, and I'm going to do my die cutting, or most of my die cutting first. I will end up doing a little bit more later. I pulled out this second largest rectangle, skipped one, and then pulled out the 4th largest rectangle. And now I'm just going to fuss with them to try to make sure they're evenly spaced apart so I get a nice frame. Here you can see I'm using the Spellbinders Best Ever Craft tape. I love this tape. I used to use washi tape to do this, but now I use washi tape in my traveler's notebooks, and I purposely buy this particular tape for using with my die cutting. I quite like it. I actually also think it works really well for watercoloring, holding down my watercolor paper, and I like it. So I went ahead and got this all taped down, ran it through my die cut machine, and you can see I have a nice mat that I can use on another project and a frame that's about 1/4 inch all the way around. I cut down my pattern paper to fit the frame I made. It's about 3 3/4 by 5. My card base is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm scoring it at 5 1/2 with my new pencil bone folder. I'm folding away from the well I just created and just giving it a good press with the other end of my bone folder, and it comes out perfectly. So I'm just playing around to see if I like this on the white, and I do. I felt like there were a lot of dark, bold colors here, and I wanted to give your eye a place to rest with the white card base. So I'm using a little bit of this Lawn Fawn glue tube glue. I like this glue tube a lot. It's easy on sore hands, and it works really well. It gives me some wiggle room time. I really like liquid glue. So I have this Happy Day set. I pulled out Happy in Retirement and stamped it on white paper, white cardstock in black ink. And I trimmed it down with my trimmer, but I decided that I wanted to fussy cut around the edge of the Happy. And when I do this, I try to leave an even amount of white around the edge here. I'm using some nice cutter bee scissors, and I'm just going all around and kind of sort of wiggling it around each letter. And there are, like, you'll see there's some, like, lots of white paper under the A. I didn't go up and around every letter. You can see there's lots of white cardstock there yet. And when I put it down on there, I realized this needs something else. So I pulled out my Crafter's Essential die set, and I pulled out this circle and die cut that in black. And I felt like that anchored my sentiment, but I also felt like I've got a lot of space left on that circle, and it needs something. It needs something to make it feel more like the focal point. So I started fussy cutting out the arrows from the paper. And then I put some foam on the back of the word retirement and happy and on the back of the arrows, and I decided to just start playing around with them. And I laid everything down, and I kind of liked the way it looked. So I glued the circle onto the card front, and I just felt like it needed more. And of course I wanted to add some of the enamel dots, and I decided I would put the yellow on just because I felt like I needed a little yellow there. But then I just felt like it needed more. So you can see I added 2 more of the arrows. I tucked them together to make one long strip and glued those down. And then I put the word retirement on it, and it just moved things around a little bit to fill up more of that black circle. But I like the way that black circle anchors everything. So I'm going to put links to everything below, and I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends so they can find cat scrappiness too.